All right, people, welcome to the Mindful Attraction Show. And today we're going to be talking about the art of ignoring a man. Okay, how to ignore a guy. It's very important to do that because some guys know how to trigger you. Some guys, because you are so present, because you're so nice, you're so affable, they take advantage of you because you just don't have an off button. It's a lot of the times it's just codependency. You're codependent. And the problem with that is that when you have codependent tendencies, and sometimes it doesn't mean that you're codependent in general, but some guys trigger that. Some situations trigger that. Some life circumstances trigger that. And it becomes very difficult to control your emotions. And from a guy's perspective, you look like somebody who will always be there. You look like somebody who I could take advantage of. You look like somebody that I could play. And this doesn't attract good guys. This always attracts manipulators. So we're going to talk about how to ignore a guy so that you're able to attract better guys. Because if you know how to ignore a guy, I'm telling you, you're only going to ignore the toxic ones. You're only going to ignore the toxic ones. I can promise you that, okay? And if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org, and there you'll be able to book a one-on-one session with me today, people. Yeah, that's right. We have lowered the prices of the one-on-one sessions for the holidays so that you guys can have a talk with me, because a lot of you guys, because I think the economy is really bad, and a lot of you guys have been asking me to lower the price. So, I'm like, whatever, like I'm here to help you guys. I'm not here to take from you guys. So you guys can book a call in the description down below. Okay. And let's begin. Oh, by the way, don't forget, this is a free gift, an audiobook that I wrote, an ebook that I wrote about how to get a guy to chase. You can get that free audiobook on the description down below where it says get your free gift. Okay. So the first one is this, is that men who see you as needy and creepy, and needy and creepy on this channel is pretty much just not being able to control your emotions. Men who see you as needy and creepy only respond when you go silent. They only begin to see your value when you go silent on them. That's how they know that you're serious. That means you stop giving them those good morning texts. That means you stop responding fast. Sometimes you want to give them a taste of the inevitable. Sometimes you want to give them a taste of what could happen if they take advantage of you. If they don't take you for granted. That's how life shows you. That's how life teaches you lessons. It takes from you what you value most, so that you can see how much you underappreciated it, and then it gives it back to you as a gift, and then you realize how important it really was, right? So learn to ignore a guy who's not giving you what you want. Learn to ignore a guy every now and then as a way to keep him chasing, right? Now, the key to ignoring a guy is don't be alone. Because what happens is that when you are alone, it naturally makes you chase more. Why? Because when you are alone, I don't know if you noticed this, but when you're alone, your thoughts become very negative. When you are alone, your emotions go out of control. When you are alone, your compulsive thoughts that originate from childhood traumas resurface. And it causes you to lose control, to disconnect from reality, and lie to yourself so that you could chase that person. Lie to yourself so that you could break my rules, right? So don't be alone. Like too many people watching these videos don't have much of a social life. Not too many of you guys, right? But that's the first thing, because what happens is that when we're in pain, we naturally seclude ourselves in darkness, not darkness, but we seclude ourselves by ourselves, and we start to think, and those thoughts are not connected to reality. So don't be alone. Talk to someone when you are ignoring, because it becomes really difficult to ignore someone who we have a lot of emotions for. And being alone doesn't help, but being alone becomes a reaction, a habit to pain. Observe what projections you have in your mind about this person. It becomes very difficult to ignore a guy when you see them unconsciously as a father figure. When you unconsciously see them as your hero, as your rescuer, when you unconsciously see them as your source of self-esteem, it becomes very difficult to make these types of decisions. So it's very important to observe what types of projections you have in your mind, how you represent this person. What is it that you tell yourself that this person is that makes it so difficult to let go of? Conscious awareness of this is really the key. Sometimes you might notice that the reason why guys who don't like you back make you obsessed with them is simply because you never had a father figure. Sometimes you go after men who push you away because maybe that's what your father did. Observing that reality, observing those connections, making those connections mentally liberates you from those from those unconscious from those types of like connections, from those types of ways of viewing the world. Just observing it does it, right? But if you talk to guys and you try to connect with a guy while those unconscious projections are happening, it's gonna be really difficult to really make things work, because you're gonna exaggerate when they ignore you. You're gonna feel like your dad ignored you, right? And that it's no matter what I tell you, you're not gonna do what I say on the videos, because you see them as something more than what they really are. And the thing is that they also notice that too, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, this person really likes me and they barely know me. What's going on? So stop giving those good morning texts. Stop giving so much. Stop being the one that loves unconditionally. Let them feel your absence every now and then. When you lose something you thought you had, they will begin to value you more. When you give them that sense that all of a sudden you're not needy and creepy, all of a sudden you're not obsessed, they'll begin to value you more. You gotta realize is that a lot of us are just really obsessive. A lot of us have obsessive qualities that, if you're watching this, these obsessive qualities manifest itself in relationships. Some people, these obsessive qualities manifest itself in sex. Other people, these obsessive qualities manifest itself in drugs. You got to be able to observe how your obsession manifests itself. Really what's happening is that most likely you just have an obsessive personality. And this obsessive personality comes from the emptiness you feel inside. And obsession is not reality. And this is why it's so important to talk to people, to get other people's point of view, and not just trust your instincts in the beginning, at least when you're learning about this, because your instincts most likely are wrong. Your instincts most likely are skewed towards pain. This is why I tell you guys, like, talk to someone, see a therapist, right? I don't do therapy, but I give dating advice, right? That's why so many people book calls with me, not because they don't know what to do. It's just because it's very confusing. It's very murky. It's very nebulous. You don't, like, when you're in that state of obsession, you don't know what you're looking at with your own eyes. That's why it's so important to ask someone their point of view, someone who doesn't have as much invested in you. It'll give you a different perspective, and you'd be surprised how wrong we are about how we perceive things. Sorry if I'm talking weird. I had TMJ the other day, so I'm like, right. Anyways, man, let me know what you guys think about this. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org. Look, if you watch this, a course that I recommend is the Psychological Game of Attraction, which is for women who are single, and Natural Chemistry, right? We're gonna be writing a script for my new course. It's a course, I forgot what's it called, Jesus Christ, but it's a course for single women and women who are in situationships. I'm gonna let you guys know about this, and if you're on my email list, I'm gonna let you guys know. Sorry for not writing to you guys the last few days. I've just been busy with other things. But yeah, anyways, man, you can click on the description down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want to learn more about these types of concepts, I would check out my course, Dark Game. It's a course that I created. Here I am right now, right? It's a course that I created for men who want to be able to improve their dating lives. I teach you guys how to attract women through social circle, how to attract women through online game, how to attract women through game in general. But truth be told, it's called Dark Game, but it also teaches you guys realistic approaches to meeting women in a way that draws them to you without being a creep. You guys can check out that course by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase my course, and there you'll be able to get it. And if you don't like it, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. I'll see you guys inside.